Today's movie is a post-apocalyptic Lucio Fulci flick, so this should be a classic, right? Well, not so fast. Welcome to Sick Flicks, where I take a deep dive into the cinematic sewer to help you embrace your inner gore geek. I'm Mike Bracken, aka The Horror Geek, and today we're tackling Lucio Fulci's post-apocalyptic cult classic, Warriors of the Year 2072. But before we dive into that, today we're joined by a very special guest, my bouncing around grandson Stir Fry, making another Sick Flicks appearance. He's my little gladiator in training, so it's important he be here for this momentous occasion, and to maul my microphone. Released in 1984, this is another in a long line of post-apocalyptic Italian thrillers inspired by mainstream offerings like The Road Warrior and Escape from New York. Pretty much everyone in Italian genre cinema took a crack at making one of these. Dell'anno gave us Raiders of Atlantis, Sergio Martino offered up 2019 after the fall of New York, Enzo Castellari delivered The Bronx Warriors, and two sort of sequels, and the legendary Joe D'Amato offered up Endgame and Texas Gladiators. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Fulci's entry into this short-lived subgenre was perhaps the most ambitious of the bunch, merging elements of Rollerball, The Running Man, although to be fair, it feels like Paul Michael Glazer's film, which came 3 years after this one, actually ripped off Fulci, and Network, amongst others. It was written by frequent Fulci collaborator Dardano Sacchetti and Sacchetti's wife Elisa Briganti, and had all the ingredients to be another hit for the Godfather of Gore. Unfortunately, the film didn't have the script to create the elements needed to make this one a success. As such, Warriors of the Year 2072, and we'll get to all the alternate titles in a minute, is lesser Fulci. But it's got Fred Williamson, Claudio Casanelli, Al Cliver, and the voice of Edward Mannix in it, so there is fun to be had. It's just hard to shake the feeling it could have been so much more. But enough about that. Can Warriors of the Year 2072 slaughter enough convicts to earn a coveted 5 barf bag rating? Let's get to the gore and find out. Oh, and before we get started, today's video is sponsored by patrons Max Wedge, Randy Ramirez, and Tom. Say thanks to those guys. If you'd like to help sponsor some videos and free me from the shackles of YouTube's tyranny, you'll find a link to my Patreon in the pinned comment and description below. And now, let's get bloody. We fade in on some credits. Jared Martin. You may remember him from crappy primetime soap Dallas or the War of the Worlds TV series. Fred Williamson. This movie's cool factor just ratcheted through the roof. We last saw Fred in VFW, but the man is a legend. Guerrieri dell'anno 2072. This is a foreign movie? Damn it. As with most Italian genre films, this one has had 100 different titles. It's also been released as Rome 2072 AD, The New Gladiators, Fighting Centurions, and Rome 2033, The Fighter Centurions. Oh yeah, no one here pretended to be American at all. Hey, Claudio Casanelli. We last saw him in The Great Alligator. Well, some of you did. Most of you didn't watch that video, which you should remedy now, after this one. Oh boy, screenplay by Italian scriptwriting AI Dardano Sacchetti and his wife Elisa Briganti with an assist from Fulci and Cesar Fragoni. Fun fact, this was the last collaboration between Sacchetti and Fulci. Sacchetti was responsible for the scripts for most of Fulci's most beloved films, but they had a falling out after this one when Fulci accused Sacchetti of stealing his idea for a film called Evil Comes Back. Sacchetti, for his part, denies stealing the idea, which was later made as an Italian television film retitled as Until Death by Lamberto Bava and credited to him and Elisa Briganti. Not gonna lie, love this soundtrack. It's like if you let 80s John Carpenter write a theme song for American Gladiators. And if you dig the music too, it's because it was composed by the legendary Riz Ortolani. Ortolani made some classic soundtracks, but is probably best known for his score for Deodato's Cannibal Holocaust. Oh sweet, it's not only a ripoff of Escape from New York and Mad Max, but Blade Runner, directed by Lucio Fulci. Any day we cover Fulci here is a good one. With the credits over, we head into the movie proper. Evel Knievel is really peacocking before jumping the Grand Canyon. I need my studded visor for such a momentous occasion. Wonder if KTM paid for the product placement. And we learn who the red guy actually is.
Your own super champion Drake.
Drake? Like the crappy rapper? I just pictured him differently. Oh sweet, it's like a bedazzled Jason mask. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday at the Sundome. It's Travis Pastrana and the Metal Militia. You'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only use the edge.
You may remember live audiences were banned 10 years ago after 2,000 fans were killed in crowd violence.
Oh, so it's like a European soccer league, only less boring. Oh yeah, I went there. This looks really impressive. And look out. Drake is getting double teamed.
Hell yeah.
No, not like that, you pervs, by two competitors. Shit, that still sounds dirty. I feel like all of this would be a lot more interesting with the Benny Hill theme music over it. This dude's basically a Pink Floyd song. Just another brick in the wall. Now the director's in the control room like, cut to commercial, this shit is boring. Someone get me the network on the line.
An empty stadium and 6 lousy bikers wasn't cheap enough for them.
It's good, I'm not the only one who found this event underwhelming. Oh look, she's reading her lines right off the screen.
Unfortunately, the last approval rating didn't hit 40.
Oh, so close to a Fulci eye zoom. And now we join the Pit and the Pendulum, already in progress. I'm not gonna lie. I love that these movies all imagine the future of television was reality death shit like Videodrome and all that, but all we really got was Honey Boo Boo and the Real Housewives. I feel like we got ripped off.
Can Linda beat the Danger Game deadline by surviving for more than 2 minutes? If so, she'll win a free week for 2 in romantic Hawaii.
I don't know, this early version of Fear Factor seems pretty okay to me. Spoiler warning, she did not win the trip to Hawaii. Oh, except it was all really just like early VR. Welcome to the Danger Game, where you survive danger to win big cash and prizes. I'm your host, Wink Martindale. Do you kids even remember Wink Martindale? Christ, I'm old. Casanelli is like, God, all these shows suck. We're like NBC circa 1983 when Manimal was the anchor of our primetime lineup. Look, I'm never gonna apologize for loving Manimal. God bless you, Simon McCorkindale. Random science numbers. Why does every woman in this movie have the I want to speak to the manager haircut? Oh, look, they're watching the Luke and Laura wedding on General Hospital. This season on The Bachelor. See? 2 Karen haircuts in one scene. Must have been a special down at Supercuts. Anyway, definitely getting some Videodrome vibes here with Italian knockoff Professor Brian Oblivion.
Death for the loser.
It's not quite Long Live the New Flash, but sure. He's got some program notes for the team about upcoming projects, too.
To make up for your recent failures, we are going to bring back ancient formula violence. Gladiators in ancient Rome. A fight to the finish.
Okay, you have my attention. Look at these miniatures. God, I love this shit. Anyway, now that they've docked, Casanelli is like, thank God I can finally take this Imodium. My irritable bowel syndrome was killing me. Really was worried the poop deck was going to be literal back there. Oh, sweet gaming desk. Too bad he didn't get one of those fancy $2,000 Herman Miller gaming chairs, though. I love that Casanelli has spent the whole movie looking constipated while trying not to emote. Oh, hey, it's our new gladiators. A bunch of death row inmates. Well, except for Drake here. Wow, looks like he's cosplaying for the Blue Man Group. House establishing shot. Not gonna lie, I wasn't sure we'd get one this week. Oh, sweet, Kenny G on the soundtrack. Oh, nice, she's got one of those sweet Wiimote rifle accessories. Anyway, I can't believe it's not Gina Davis wonders how she wound up in a Fulci movie. Fulci eye zoom. Finally. Don't worry though, the intruder is just a young Lex Luger. And don't mind him, he's just here to play with his balls.
Hell yeah.
No, these billiard balls. Tom Hanks, is that you? Anyway, getting some very strong Clockwork Orange vibes here. Sure hope she doesn't have a giant ceramic dong sculpture around here. Good to see that even in the year 2072, the old 80s staple of puffy jacket with turtleneck is still in style. Oh, and exposition. Bad news for Drake, but killing 3 men is definitely gonna up his gangsta rap cred.
The star contender on that great occasion, Drake, now condemned to die for killing the 3 men who brutally murdered his lovely young wife.
And rather than send him to prison for life, they're just gonna make him compete in their gladiator games. If this feels vaguely Running Man-esque, well, it is. Hey, Casanelli is actually emoting, and these dudes are flashing us.
Hell yeah.
No, I mean they have their emergency blinkers on. Miniature Coliseum. This movie is exactly the kind of cheap I love. Obviously using miniatures, but they're cool, so I don't care. Oh yeah, gotta tell Sterling these guys were the Sons of Anarchy. Oh man, is Drake expecting a flood? Nice high waters there, Millhouse. Oh dude, I'm so baked right now. Man, these futuristic watches look painful.
It just keeps track of how you are and where you are.
Oh, so it's one of those trackers all the conspiracy nuts were going on about for the past few years. Who knew? Must not blink.
I taught you everything you know. Raven, take him away.
Raven? The pro wrestler? What about me? What about Raven? And here's what passes for witty dialogue in a Darno Sacchetti script.
Go to hell.
I would, if I thought it'd raise my ratings.
Oh god, Fulci lip close up. Getting very unpleasant New York Ripper vibes. Which is fitting because Howard Ross was Mickey Scalenda in New York Ripper. Fulci eye close up. Then he zaps him with his fleshlight. Don't even want to know what's in that thing. Come on, pull my finger. You know you wanna. Not gonna lie, Drake is giving off very strong discount James Caan vibes. Oh man, this guy looks great. He looks like the love child of Robert Vaughn in Zombie 5, Killing Birds, and Freddy Krueger. So, fun fact, that's actually the Dr. Butcher MD himself, Donald O'Brien, buried under all that makeup.
Don't take your eyes off anybody, ever.
Should the guy with no eyes be telling him to keep his eyes on people? So, what do you think of my new Life Alert bracelet? Pretty sweet, right? Raven hooked me up with it earlier. Eye zoom. Come on, Fulci. Focus. Hey, it's Al Cliver. We haven't seen him in ages. He's all like, think fast, and Five Below James Caan does. I like to think this is what it's like backstage at Dancing with the Stars. I'm kidding. You can pay me to watch Dancing with the Stars. Oh, good. Flashing lights and Fred Williamson doing shadow boxing. Try not to have a seizure. Can't afford to get sued. I can just hear Fulci. This will be a lot more impressive to viewers if they're distracted by swallowing their tongues while it's happening. Black guy getting beat by a guy in white with a white baton. I feel like this film is really just a clever metaphor about race relations. And of course the Asian guy knows karate. After seeing this, I kind of wish Fulci had taken a crack at a Highlander film or Gymkata. Phew, I feel about 10 pounds lighter after birthing that food baby. Turns out this isn't a bathroom, but it being a bathroom would have been much more believable.
I'm establishing your auto-control threshold, so the computer knows how to program your training schedule.
Lance Henriksen, anything to share with the class?
That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
I've heard about being embarrassed and getting red in the face, but this is ridiculous. Acting. This is probably just a seizure from that earlier flashing light training montage, honestly. This is my pooping face. Ooh, slow eye zoom. Oh good, now he's gonna do Bohemian Rhapsody at karaoke. Chekhov's Wii Remote. These outfits remind me of something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I gotta be honest, this remixed version of A Tribe Called Quest scenario video sucks. I mean, Amazon Basics James Caan is no Fife Dog. Oh, and now it's like a Black Sheep song. If my train jumps off the tracks.
Pick it up! Pick it up!
Alright, who's ready for some competitive duck hunt? Oh, and Drake still insists he's innocent.
I didn't kill them!
And he's not cracking under the stress of their psychological warfare.
Drake won't kill Cortez. I've got him at maximum psychological pressure. What do I do?
Meanwhile, Karen works the front desk at Nakatomi Plaza. And she's thinking some deep thoughts. Why is the letter called W when it's really 2 V's? Shouldn't it be called double V? Back at the barracks, Al Cliver gives Drake a taste of his pimp fist. By God, the NWO is putting the boots to him. Man, my JR just keeps getting better. Backstage, the village people prepare for their big reunion show.
Let's give him a show. When it's showtime.
Now, the Waffen SS is doling out pimp hands of their own. But while that's going on, I can't believe it's not James Caan makes a break for it. But Raven just blasts him with the fleshlight again. That's so Raven. Will he ever get out of here again? Quoth the Raven, nevermore. I like that he basically has a piece of mirror glued to his hand for reasons. And now it's like an Above the Law song.
We've all got murder raps here.
Yeah, Murder Rap was a banger. I will say this Raven / Perry Saturn promo is pretty weird. And then this happens.
Now I want you to zap me with your magic stick.
Hell yeah.
No, he means the fleshlight. Wait, that's still totally dirty. Oh man, they were hiding the good gaming chairs down here. And since nothing much has happened, let's take a break and watch a different movie. Boring. But what's this? There really was another killer? I haven't seen laser blasting like that since that MST3K episode. Man, House of the Dead is going to be so much fun with this thing. Forgive me if I wax poetic about this obviously fake head melting. She helps him figure out he was framed for murder, but he can't even be bothered to remember her name.
What did you say your name was?
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, in our other movie, Claudio Casanelli is modeling the latest from Steven Seagal's Buddhist loungewear line. But they're about to get interrupted.
The computers are programmed to broadcast the games in just under 60 hours.
Hey, that's Edward Mannix on the dub. But hey, Claudio's right on this front.
Computers. We built them to be our slaves, but we're turning out to be theirs.
Okay, let's just watch the movie from another room. Monk is living up to his name, too. If you can snatch this pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave the Shaolin Monastery. Do you kids even remember Kung Fu? Christ, I'm old. This really doesn't seem like a good time to drop some acid, but you do you. I mean, it might make this movie better. Fulci lip zoom. I feel like that might be a thing at this point. So basically, Monk gave Drake a microchip that allows him to control the computers. But Fred the Hammer wants in on the action too.
Mind if we tag along?
Well, sure, but let me check this map. Wait a minute, this isn't a map. It's a kids menu from Shoney's. Says here we're just a hop, skip, and a jump from Dessert Desert. Fulci eye shot. Fuck it, I'm lost. Jesus, she looks like a mannequin. And rocking theme music. Look at her. She's like, God, I hope I don't have to parallel park this thing. Technology, science, industry, 3M, building a better tomorrow. Oh, they're going to the Magic Castle. I always wanted to go there. Man, her check engine light must have gone nuclear. All right, you kids behave. And remember, we're not buying anything in the gift shop. It's all overpriced crap. I don't want to alarm anyone, but I was promised gladiators. And so far, no real gladiating. Looks like she's feeling pretty gate. The door was locked, so naturally this Karen's off in search of a manager. Hello, is there anyone in charge here? I'd like to register a complaint. Sounds like she just wandered into a Philip Glass concert. Oh man, he's live scoring the movie. Way to go, futuristic Michael McDonald. Oh wait, it's evil Michael McDonald. I'll show you what a fool believes.
I took your advanced telematics course.
Great, she's just here to grade grub. This guy sounds like that ChatGPT founder.
I simulated a human brain that's unique. Completely benign.
But it gets even goofier.
Are you trying to say Junior has a soul or a spirit?
I don't know.
Lance Henriksen, take it away.
That's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard.
But before he can get to the bottom of this cybercrime, he gets killed. Off screen? Guess he was living minute by minute for real. Oh, maybe he popped a cyanide cap. I would do that if I had to listen to modern pop music too. And here's another dead body. Also killed off screen. Are we sure Fulci made this thing? A lot of off-screen kills for the Godfather of Gore. And now she's being accosted by Dr. Butcher MD. Stop screaming or I'll cut your vocal cords. Oh good, are we finally about to get some gladiating?
Live from the new Colosseum in Rome, Italy, the Battle of the Damned.
I mean, there's only like 30 minutes left in this thing. Seems like a good time for something to happen. Oh god, is this a ripoff of Romero's Knight Riders now too? Guessing someone's about to get the point. Ah yes, the final piece of the interocitor. Why are so many of the shots in this movie out of focus? Oh look, Edward Mannix's voice is back.
The whole world is watching WBS.
WBS? W bullshit? That seems very fitting. So I can't really tell if this is motorcycle combat or motorcycle ice-capade so far. Oh, it's like a live-action Road Rash. I love that game. Look at Drake, doling out pimp hands on a bike. Not gonna lie, feeling kinda ripped off. I waited 70 minutes for gladiator action and this is all I got. While they're fighting for the prize, Discount Taylor Swift here is finding out the real skinny, and it's not good.
All surviving gladiators to be dematerialized 20 minutes after end of games.
Oh, hey, finally some gore. Decapitation. And Claudio's finally happy. Well, he was happy. Back in the arena, we've got a new event. I'm sure this will be as underwhelming as the last. I also think they probably blew at least half the budget bedazzling all these bikes. Inside, more deep thoughts from Claudio. If a turtle loses its shell, is it naked or homeless? Oh yeah, just like the chariot scene in Ben-Hur. If Ben-Hur sucked, this is a real drag. So, how do you like your biker gladiator? Well done? Say no more. Oh, look at who our newest contestant is! Facing disintegration, our outlaw bikers team up. It's like a Hell's Angels origin story. And Claudio's freaking. At least I think that's his freaking out face. Hard to tell. He's not exactly emotive. Here's a live look at the control room during Janet Jackson's Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction.
Kill the show! Hit the out theme! You mean run the engine? Anything! Get it off the air now!
Back in the arena, the convicts are chasing down Himmler. Oh yeah, right in the breadbasket. Now it's time for some pew-pew. When did this movie get regular lasers exactly? But Drake's like, keep your fancy blasters and hokey ancient religions. I've got my pimp hands. Live look at me trying to cram my chipped ATM card into the checkout machine backwards. And Cortez has some bad news for Drake.
It's too late. You've been programmed into oblivion.
Oh, that's cool. I love that Elder Scrolls game. Except Cortez isn't really the bad guy. It's Edward Mannix' voice.
He programmed the games. Your wife's murder. And now yours.
You're lying.
So the bracelets are what will kill them, which means Al Cliver rips his off with disastrous results. Fred the Hammer has seen enough. Stick around, pal. Turns out killing him might have been a mistake, though.
You've killed the only man who could have stopped me. Cortez was ambitious and stupid.
Well, sure, but he had his good points too. I mean, dude was one hell of a dancer. Oh, hey, they got Exeter on the Interocitor. Oh god, it's like he's on the satellite of love. And Sam is not even human.
It's a computer projection in human form.
Lance Henriksen?
That's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard.
Man, I just wanted a Fulci movie about gladiators with gore. What the hell did I wind up with? Anyway, they've got 3 minutes to program a destruction sequence, but she's jammed her keycard in the hole.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't dirty, but it sure did sound dirty. If she calls tech support, they're just going to ask her if she rebooted or unplugged it. They get in, but wait, there's one more surprise. Monk's a bad guy. But Monk has made a terrible mistake. He's brought a spear to a laser fight. Sean Connery told you about this. Oh hey, Fulci eye violence! And in the most convenient twist ever, Monk's eye was a camera and Sam's destruction code is on there.
This micro camera might be able to play them back for us.
Look, Darno Sacchetti just basically gave up on this script like 50 pages ago. Ooh, now we're in the Matrix. I zoom. What? All this says is drink your Ovaltine. Oh, but the disintegration is in space. And now these two are gonna hook up. I mean, his wife's been dead for like 3 days. You can't expect him to mourn forever. Travis Kelce is gonna be so jealous Amazon Basics James Caan is making a play for Tay-Tay. And freeze frame ending. Drink. So, what do we learn from Warriors of the Year 2072? Well, then while Fulci made a lot of classic films, he also had his share of misses, and this one feels like a miss. The idea of Fulci helming one of the dystopian Mad Max / Escape from New York ripoffs sounds good on paper, but the Sacchetti-Briganti script wants to be more of a sci-fi film than a story of futuristic gladiators, and it never really comes together. That and a tiny budget really hurt this one. But enough about that. Can Warriors of the Year 2072 kill enough convicts to earn the Godfather of Gore another coveted 5 barf bag rating? Not a chance. But let's go to the Gore card. In terms of gross anatomy, this one is very light for a Fulci flick. We get a decapitation, 1 melted face, some stabbings, and Monk's computer eye removal, but that's about it. There's not much splatter in this one, and as such, I can only give Warriors of the Year 2072 a 1 barf bag rating. It's not up to the usual Fulci standards. Looking for a gorier Fulci classic? Then be sure to check out my review of Zombie. You'll find a link here on the screen. I'll meet you over there. Until next time, I'm Mike Bracken, aka the Horror Geek, bringing you all the splatter that matters.